Hello and welcome to another video demonstrating the capabilities of PKI Spotlight by PKI Solutions. I'm Mark Cooper and I'm going to be showing you how we have designed PKI Spotlight to address threat detection. And we define threat detection as anomalies or activities within the public key infrastructure components itself that may indicate potential malicious activity. It could also be classified as accidental configuration and implementation changes. But in order to be able to determine the intent, you have to have the information to start with. So here in the PKI Spotlight dashboard, we can quickly drill into a number of different areas. One of the areas where potential security threats could surface is in the information in Active Directory as it relates to your PKI itself. So if we come into our Active Directory area, there's a number of key containers inside of AD that we are monitoring and can watch for. The first one is the Auth Object. The Auth Object is defined in Active Directory and determines which certificate authorities are allowed to issue certificates that are trusted for authentication. Now, this authentication can be things such as logging into Windows interactively, remote desktop, Wi-Fi, and VPN connections. By being able to determine which CAs are here, an organization can determine which certificate authorities may be issuing certificates that can be used for authentication into the environment. A potential malicious actor may try to inject a certificate from a CA that they can control so that they can then use those certificates for authentication. The Auth Object is something that should be highly monitored to make sure that only trusted CAs are placed here. The other area where we can watch for information is the Enrollment Services container in AD. Now, both of these containers are inside of the configuration context of AD. The Enrollment Services object determines what particular CA is available on the network for enrollment. This is typically controlled by a CA when it is installed or when it's migrated, but a malicious actor may attempt to inject a enrollment services object to direct traffic to a different certificate authority, or to even try to compromise how clients are communicating in an attempt to steal credentials. So being able to watch both of these objects is quite important. So while we show this information here on the dashboard, we can also get alerts about that in real time. So if I come here to our settings, I can create a new email subscription, and we can say this is our AD container modified alert, and we're going to send this to our security group at contoso.com, and we're interested in information from agents, and we're going to come down and select information for NTDS, and we want the DS NT Auth and the DS Enrollment Services, and we're going to create that. Now, the moment anything changes inside of those containers, we'll get a notification to security at contoso.com. Some of the other areas where PKI Spotlight can help identify potential threats is in the events area. And with this particular one, I can come into our sources and look at the CA security. Now, the CA security is going to show me when the access control list has changed on our CA. A malicious actor may attempt to change who is allowed to manage the CA or even issue certificates. We'll be able to track that information in real time here in the events area. One of the other things that we can do is tracking information about Windows Firewall. So with that, I can come in and check to see when the Windows Firewall status has changed. And I can see in this particular case, it went from an unknown state, most likely a stopped or pending, to a running state. I would also see when it went from a running state to a stop state. Now, one of the last areas that we can look at for information is in our database statistics. And here you can see not just the number of issued certificates, but more critically, the number of failed and denied. Now, these counters going up on a particular CA aren't a conclusive piece of evidence that say that something malicious is happening. But if we're seeing an abnormally high number of denied enrollments, such as here on Legacy Issuing CA, we've issued 2,366 valid certs, but we have over 10,000 denied. Now, this could be a misconfiguration, it could be a legacy setting, or it could be a malicious actor attempting to get certificates and the CA rejecting them. So PKI Spotlight is designed not only for operational resilience and security posture management, but can also help uncover information necessary for detecting threats inside of your PKI.